Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an all-new, brand new edition of the Russell Wortham Show, coming to you live, commercial-free from my super secret back cave. Folks, we're back and back in the middle of greatness, and for the first time ever, this show is going to be exclusively now on YouTube. I am so excited about that prospect. After about 20 years of podcasting, I have decided to climb Mount Everest, if you will, and go into the wilds of YouTube. Now, let me give you the condensed version of why I decided to get into YouTube rather than stay on the podcasting side. So, for approximately the last year, my home for my podcasts was Podbean. Now, I have no problems with Podbean. I have nothing but love, nothing but respect for Podbean. They were gracious to me. They gave me a voice. They gave me an opportunity. They are very easy to work with. I've got nothing but admiration for the folks over at Podbean. They are not sponsoring me. This is just me on my own saying Podbean is an amazing platform. Full stop. Okay? Period. End of sentence. Whatever you want to call it. What happened was purely technical. So, some weeks back, I tried to record my show, and for some reason, I couldn't record on the Podbean app. I don't know what happened. Again, I'm guessing it was just a glitch. No one is at fault here. All right? Nobody's at fault here. This just was a technical glitch that happened. So I tried every which way to record. I finally got to the point where I did get the opportunity to record, and I'm like, okay, I'm back in the game. This is awesome. I can get this going. And then what happened was, when I tried to publish the episode, it wouldn't let me publish. And I thought, oh my goodness gracious, what is going on here? So I agonized over this decision. I honest to goodness did. But I came up with the conclusion that I needed a clean break. Again, Podbean was nothing but gracious. Podbean was nothing but absolutely helpful. I would recommend them in a heartbeat. Okay, in a millisecond. I would recommend them. If you want to do podcasting, I would say go to Podbean. What happened to me was purely technical. No one was at fault. Okay? Let me be very clear. No one was at fault. But I thought to myself, I have a lot of stuff that I would like to get off of my chest on a weekly basis. So what do? Do I go to another podcasting service? Do I try to scale this mountain called YouTube? And I thought to myself, well, you know what? Go big or go home. And I've decided to go and be in on YouTube. This is not about likes for me. This is about connection for me. So I have 3 things for you guys. If you watched my introduction video last week, you know what they are, but I will tell you again what my 3 things are. 1, to subscribe to my channel. 2, share this video. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, please share this with your friends, your family, your coworkers, and let's get this growing organically. And then my third ask, if you will, is to comment. There is no growth without constructive criticism. If I'm doing something well, please tell me. That's what I want. I want to do some things. I want to do a lot of really cool things over my 3. I know officially that they're playlists on the Control Russell channel, but I call them sub-channels. So over my 3 sub-channels, I'm doing some really cool things. So tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I need to work on, because I want to learn. I want to improve. I want to grow. I want to say, okay, this is working, this isn't working. And whatever happens, happens. And so that's where I'm at. All right. So with my journey to YouTube, let me answer the next question you're probably having, which is, okay, well, that's all well and good, Russell, but why aren't you doing your show through video? This is just, an audio thing this week. Well, very simply because there is a lot of information and I couldn't figure out a good, solid way to get through all that information and look at the camera, look at y'all dead in the eyes and all that, because for me, I am just starting out. I don't have anything like teleprompters or anything like that. So it would be a very just low budget setup. And I didn't want to be looking down at a piece of paper. So I decided to do this as audio files this week. Next week, I intend to get back to video through my 3 channels. So this sub-channel, The Russell Wortham Show, Left Turn at Tucson, my political / current events show, and Russell Saves the World in 15 Minutes, which is my gaming sub channel. So that's what you're going to be getting on a weekly basis. All right. All that said, let's get going with WWE, and they have a lot of stuff. They've got 3 big events coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, Bad Street, USA. If you're a child of the 80s, it's one of those if you know, you know type things. So we've got the Great American Bash from NXT. We've got Saturday night's main event. It's the 40th edition of Saturday night's main event. 40 episodes. Absolutely mind-blowing to me. And we have, of course, on Sunday, Evolution 2 from Atlanta, and we will go through each and every one of those. And then after we do that, we will cover and preview the Major League Baseball All-Star Break festivities, also from Atlanta. So Atlanta is getting a big rub this weekend. It is going to be absolutely amazing what they're doing. All right. So we start off with the Great American Bash, and this is from Center Stage. If that sounds even remotely familiar, that is where WCW filmed a lot of their tapings, was from Center Stage. And I think it's an awesome nod to the history of WCW. You're doing the Great American Bash from Center Stage. Now, for years and years and years, growing up, they were at the Baltimore Arena. And that is an iconic place. I mean, my word, that is iconic as all get out. Do I wish that they could go back to the Baltimore Arena? Yes. Will they ever? I don't know. But that all said, going to go over these 5 matches now because they are one-on-one matches. I will not give you any predictions, but I'm going to at least go through and tell you what I think about each of these matches. So let's start off with Oba Femi, your reigning, defending, undisputed NXT champion, who, I mean, the ruler has been on a rampage. This man is special. He is absolutely spot on. He is a natural. So Oba Femi, and if I mispronounce this name, I apologize in advance, but we have Yoshiki Inamura with Josh Briggs. That is going to be a hard-hitting affair. That just absolutely is. I mean, both of these guys just are fearless, and they will beat the holy heck out of each other. I really believe that. Next up, you got Jordan Grace, And I still can't believe that Jordynne Grace is in NXT, much less WWE. I mean, my word, that is game-changing. She's teaming up with Blake Monroe, who she came to NXT after leaving AEW. And they will be facing Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, with Jasmine Nix in their corner. Tag team match. I think this is going to be a great match. Personally, I think this is going to be a make or break match for Fatal Influence. If they're going to be, the dominant team, the dominant group in not just NXT, but women's wrestling, they have to win this match. They have to win this match. Now, the good folks over at Cultaholic did say that there is speculation that Blake Monroe will turn heel. I would be very surprised if she turned heel like almost immediately. She just debuted. I'd be very surprised if she turned heel. But that's what I've heard from the good folks from Cultaholic. Next up, you got Sol Ruca, your reigning, defending, undisputed NXT Women's North American Champion, versus Izzy Dame with Tatum Paxley from The Calling. I dig the idea of The Calling. I think that they are, one of the freshest groups, headed by Sean Spears, and I mean, you've got a lot of great talent there. So Izzy, I mean, she is right there. She is right on that edge. She is right there. I really believe she's just right there. Again, I'm not making any predictions. I'm just saying Izzy is right there. This next match is the match that I am looking forward to. This is going to be a barn burner. Ethan Page, your reigning, defending, undisputed NXT North American Champion, versus the former champion Ricky Saints. And this is in a Falls Count Anywhere match. I want to see them go all over. I literally want to see them go all over center stage. I do. I want to see them go up to the nosebleed section. I want to see them go to the Raptors. I want to see them go into the concourses. I want to see them. I want to see them go literally everywhere. Will they go everywhere? I mean, it's probably doubtful. But, hey, a guy can dream, can't he? And then finally, you got Javon Evans, your boy is Bouncy, versus Jasper Troy. And he is your inaugural winner of WWE LFG. I never really got the opportunity to watch the show because it was on A&E, and I don't have cable. So unfortunately, I could not watch that. But that is going to be a tremendous card. It really will. So that will be coming up on July 12th. And then you've got Saturday night's main event. And the matches, we've got 3 matches. So you got Gunther, your reigning, defending, undisputed world heavyweight champion, versus Goldberg. And Goldberg says this will be his retirement match. He is going to end in his home city, his hometown, if you will, of Atlanta. I doubt that he's going to win. If, and again, this is not a prediction, but if Goldberg wins, I would think that he will hold the title until Monday. He'll come out, he'll drop the title, or he'll relinquish the title and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then they may have like a battle royal, they may have a tournament, something. We just got done with the King of the Ring tournament. Don't get me started on that one. Don't get me started on that one. But I look at it and I say, okay, well, maybe we have Gunther win, and when he beat Jey Uso to regain that title, I was like, so then why did we have that title change at WrestleMania? I do not understand that. That was very just like, what are we doing? It was a cool moment. The crowd was feeling it. Jay conquered that mountain, but what are we doing? Anyway, LA Knight, versus Seth freaking Rollins, aka Kobe, for just regular singles match. Much like Izzy Dame, much like Fatal Influence, I believe that this is LA Knight's last real chance. I firmly believe that. Again, this is not a prediction. I would be very surprised if Kobe lost, only for the fact that he is your Money in the Bank winner. And so I would be very surprised if he, if he didn't win. Where does LA Knight go from here? Look, if he wins, then you could say, okay, maybe he has a shot. He's had a couple of runs with the United States Championship. They've not really been anything to write home about. And that's not a knock on LA Knight. Let me be very clear on that. That is not a knock on LA Knight. That is a knock, though, on the programming from WWE. I don't understand why they're so hesitant to give LA Knight, a actual good solid run. At this point, if they're not going to do anything with LA Knight, they need to loan him out to TNA. Have him go back. Maybe he goes back to being Eli Drake for a while, and then he can come back. I don't know. I don't know what their deal is with TNA, but I will say this. This is really people talk about a trap game. This is a trap match. Either person loses, it could really lose momentum for either one of them. And so we'll see what happens. And then finally, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Hey, this is the match of the night, folks. This right here is the match of the night. They have history. They have history going back to the pandemic. They have history going back to the Thunderdome era. They do not like each other, at least professionally. I don't know about personally, but professionally, neither Randy nor Drew actually like each other. So you have those matches right there. And let me go and let's get to Evolution. And let me get to Evolution. And that will be on Sunday. Now, this is kind of a weird situation. So Evolution is going to be from the State Farm Arena. I say it's a weird situation because WWE didn't really go and they didn't really advertise this very well. I believe it was on a random SmackDown, and I can't even remember who was doing a promo, but like in the middle of the promo, they're like, "Oh yeah, Evolution's coming up." I'm like, "Yay, Evolution's coming up!" Oh, why aren't you guys really advertising this? It feels like an afterthought. What happened 8 years ago, 7 years ago was absolutely phenomenal. It was a culmination of the give divas a chance, social media, which was organic, that morphed into the women's revolution, and then that spawned the evolution. And it was so good seeing all those women, from one end of the stage to the other. It was such an amazing thing. I'm like, yay, we're going to see this next year. Oh, wait, we're not going to see this next year? And so we've been waiting an awful long time for Evolution 2. And I just wish that WWE would have done this whole thing with Evolution right from the very beginning, right from the jump. That all said, let's go over the match card. You've got 7 matches. So you got JC Jane, your reigning defending undisputed NXT Women's Champion, in her second match of the weekend, going up against Jordynne Grace in her second match of the weekend. This is a make or break, I think, for Jordynne Grace. I really think that this is a make or break for Jordynne Grace. Jordynne is too good to stay down in NXT. So if she doesn't win this match, again, this is not a prediction, but if she doesn't win this match, I think she's going straight away to the main roster. Next up, you got for the Women's World Championship, Io Sky, your champion, versus Rhea Bloody Ripley. This is going to be a barn burner of a match, and I wish that there was more oomph to this match. It was just like, hey, I beat Raquel Rodriguez, over in Saudi Arabia. I'm looking for a fight, and then Io comes out, and then Rick, okay, yay, we're gonna have a match together. And I'm like, this just feels thrown together. And WWE doesn't like heel versus heel or face versus face matches. They never have. They'll do it either because the fans want to see it or because they're itching to turn one of them. Who are they going to try to turn? I guess is Rhea, but she is so over right now. She is so popular. I don't see it happening. Next up, you got Judgment Day, aforementioned Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, your women's tag team champions. Now, Liv Morgan, of course, is now out with shoulder surgery off of a separated shoulder. It was just a fluke injury against Io Sky. I mean, it was just a fluke. So Raquel and Roxanne now are going to be going up against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. That is a weird couple. That is a weird team right there. I saw something on social media yesterday, and they're like, "Well, what do you think about this team, or what name would you give this team?" I'm like, okay, they're teaming together. Okay, I think this is Charlotte's reclamation project. I really do. I think this is Charlotte's reclamation project. She lost at WrestleMania to Tiffany Stratton, and that was a cluster setup. So now they've got to try to reclaim Charlotte Flair somehow. But anyways, versus Sol Ruca and Zarya. Sol Ruca, I get. Zarya, forgive me. I apologize. I don't know much about Zarya. They haven't done a good enough job, to me. They have not done a good enough job explaining why Zarya is that important, why she's so big, why she's so over. They haven't really done that. Versus the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. We're going to be playing hot potato again with these tag titles. I really firmly believe that the Kabuki Warriors will win this match. You got Battle Royal for a World Championship match at Clash in Paris coming up. So we'll see what happens with that. Don't know who's in there, but we'll see what happens. A lot of people are thinking that's going to be the match of the night on social media. Next up, you got Tiffany Stratton, your reigning, defending undisputed WWE Women's Champion versus Trish Stratus. Now, at one point earlier this year, they were actually tag team partners. I don't see a title change. I really don't. I know this is Trish Stratus's 25th anniversary of being in WWE, being associated with WWE. So maybe this is a John Cena situation. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what's going on with that. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, no holds barred match, street fight basically. I don't like street fights because I think they've just done them to death. I will say though that this is my match of the night. There is some real bad blood between Jade and Naomi. I really think they're going to beat the holy heck out of each other, much like Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. Finally, Becky Lynch, your Women's Intercontinental Champion, versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. If they're smart, if WWE is smart, they're going to keep that title on Becky for as long as possible. And if they were really smart, they would put Becky and Colby together. Look, they don't want to be in this idea because everybody knows that they're married. Everyone in their mom knows that those two are married. They don't really want to talk about their relationship, which is completely fair. It's 100% fair. I have no problems with Becky or Colby. I have got no problems with either one of them. But can you imagine, Colby, your Money in the Bank briefcase holder? You've got Becky Lynch, your Women's Intercontinental Champion. That is a power couple. And if you want to get heat, real legitimate heat on Becky Lynch, she needs to start working with Paul Heyman. Just saying. So who do I think is going to win that, because it is a triple threat. I'd say it's going to be Becky. All right, so that is everything going on with the WWE. So we start with the All-Star weekend there in Atlanta, and they have not had an All-Star break there in Atlanta in 25 years, if you can believe that. So let's start off with the futures game. And let's see, this is all the information is coming from Wikipedia, so I'm citing my sources here. And so let's get going. So you've got the futures game. And so yeah, so you got the futures game. I don't have a roster for that. The home run derby. So unfortunately, I do not have a list for that as well. And then, of course, you've got the All-Star game, and I unfortunately do not have any player information for that. So, cool. That's the way things go sometimes, folks. Right. Well, that is going to be the first edition of the Russell Wortham Show on YouTube.